Zombie Jean Grey, like most of the heroes and villains of her Earth, was infected with a multiversal disease that turned them into organ-eating savages. She comes from Earth 2149, but her origins pre-infection were very similar to her main universe counterpart from Earth 616. This all changed though one awful day from hell when a zombie version of the hero known as the Sentry made his way to this dimension. The Avengers tried to help the rabies-riddled man, but instead he lashed out and attacked the unsuspecting heroes, infecting them with the virus. Almost instantly, the plague took over their bodies, transforming them into hungry undead. They then took to the streets of New York, sinking their rotting teeth into any nearby human that they could find. Nick Fury would try to lead an assault of uninfected heroes against the Horde, but the power of the virus proved to be too great, as the resistance was either infected or killed. The virus would spread all throughout the Earth, leaving the majority of the planet super zombies and most of the humans dead. Without much grub left, the zombies soon came face to face with the Silver Surfer, who arrived from space on behalf of Galactus to announce that the world was about to be eaten by his large purple boss. Licking their lips at the sight of lean shiny Vin Diesel, the Horde attacked and ate the poor Surfer. The greedy goblins who got to eat the dude got his sweet cosmic powers, which they then used to cook their friends crispier than Anakin Skywalker on Mustafar, who they then proceeded to eat. They then even combined these abilities to defeat and eat the mighty Galactus himself, where they got his powers and matching purple jumpsuits, which they then used to rocket off to space in search of their next hot meal. The cosmic zombies would then spend the next 40 years going throughout space, treating the entire cosmos as one giant flesh food bender. It is during these 4 long gory decades that they came across our girl Jean Grey, who had been possessed by the Phoenix Force, but sadly not even that was enough to resist the power of the undead virus that they infected her with. Hair still looks good though, girl. You do your thing. Picking up stragglers such as Thanos, Firelord, Gladiator, and Jean, the OG zombie boys soon realized that all good things must come to an end as they reached the edge of reality and realized there was nothing left to eat. As opposing as a zombie Thanos sounds though, he made the sore mistake of accusing Hulk of being the class mooch and eating everyone's food, where Hulk then proceeded to clap his head into fine purple pudding. Rest in peace, Zombie Grimace. The remaining group then remembered that prior to his zombification, Iron Man was working on a portal that would lead the survivors to safety in another dimension. Sadly though, the device was destroyed by Thor once things got out of hand, thereby locking the zombies out of other realities. With the brilliant minds of Giant Man, Tony Stark, and Bruce Banner at their disposal, Jean and the rest charted a course back to Earth to fix the machine and access the multiverse of Munchies. But first, not without stopping for lunch on the gooey flesh of Ego the Living Planet. Rest in peace, Kurt Russell. While they initially thought the planet was completely cleaned of all life, the zombies were mistaken, as we see that Black Panther had indeed survived, where he ruled over a small settlement of human and mutant survivors. It is here that he was also assisted by a zombified wasp who had managed to overcome her hunger by going through extensive periods of fasting. However, some of the radical mutants weren't too cool with T'Challa having the throne, so they organized an assassination attempt which resulted in him being nearly killed, but was saved when he was infected with the virus by Wasp, which caused her hunger to return. The freshly infected Wakandan king was then locked in the kingdom vaults with Wasp, where they were forced to detox until their insanity had faded. Once the hunger went away, Panther went to put the traitors on trial, only to see that Jean and the others arrived just in the nick of time. Impeccable timing, lads. Can't you knock first? Having little self-control, Hulk went to eat everyone in sight, only to be stopped by Giant Man, who told the boys that they needed to be smart this time around, otherwise they would be back to square one. He proposed turning these survivors into a human breeding camp, That way they can have an ongoing supply of human livestock, keeping them satiated until the end of time. Horrified at the thought of this, Zombie Spider-Man and Luke Cage rebelled against Jean and the others, and they began fighting amongst each other. Taking advantage of the situation, Black Panther had his men display a shield around the palace, locking Jean and the other zombies out. Discovering that the shield was impenetrable, the zombies vowed to find a way in and kill everyone inside. But they had bigger multiverse fish to fry and flew off to Reed Richards Baxter Building in search of the multiverse portal. Upon arrival, Jean and the rest were immediately attacked by the building's security bots, which they made quick work of, only to discover that the portal was not even there and had been taken by Forge years prior and had been at New Wakanda this whole time. Rather ticked that they made this trip for nothing, Jean and the boys furiously flew back to the kingdom, ready to throw hands and chow down. Upon arrival, the gang saw that the shield was still up, but there awaited T'Challa, who came at the Horde sparking a deal. He proposed that if they left his people alone, he would give Jean and the others the multiverse device to have unlimited eats in other worlds. Being shockingly civil, the zombies said yes, only for it to be a trick by the quick-witted king, who then closed the shield around them outside the palace where they went to war. As the battle raged on, Jean's Phoenix power clearly had enough of this nonsense, where she rained fire down upon Spidey and the rest. Man, y'all thought your girl was scary when she's hungry. How about a zombie girl when she's hungry? Nope. Don't want to even think about that one. As the battle with the zombie Phoenix went on outside, Giant Man and several others managed to sneak their way inside the compound, where they found the horrified survivors. Just as they went to snack though, they realized that, like Wasp, their hunger too had faded after going without food for so long. Jean too, along with the others, realized the same thing, where they met with the survivors, deeply sorrowful at the mass genocide that they had caused. Just before they could propose a truce though, Zombie Hulk was still hungry as ever, as he burst through the walls Kool-Aid Man style, ready to find himself a snack. Activating the full power of the Phoenix Force, Jean went in to stop the rampaging creature, dousing him in flames. However, this only made Hangry Hulk even hangrier, who brushed the attack off and punched a hole right through Jean Mortal Kombat style, where he then followed up with a combo by crushing her head into paste. Honestly, served you right, Jean. That's what you get for killing James Marsden in X-Men 3. R.I.P. to that beautiful man and his sick Oglies.